Hey guys, thanks for joining me this week on For All Things Lexington. It's the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina. Here, you'll hear me talk to people, groups, bands, and organizations about where to go, what to do, and who's who in and all around our beautiful Lake Murray. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington.
For All Things Lexington has been brought to you in part by Lexington's Icehouse Amphitheater, the outdoor entertainment and event venue for fun, family, friends, and gatherings. Event schedule at icehouseamphitheater.com.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me again today. I have Walker Brewer, that's a mouthful, Walker Brewer. He is the director of the Icehouse Amphitheater here in Lexington. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are a busy man because that amphitheater is hopping all the time.
Yeah, we're excited. Keep it busy. Keep downtown and Main Street going.
So let's first talk about the bands and the concerts that go on there, just in a general sense. They contact you, you contact them.
It's a combination of both. We get submissions daily from bands who want to play. We've got a relatively large and still growing file of different bands in the area, stuff like that. And then we work off of referrals from other bands that we've used and agents.
Right. Now, so again, let's just talk about the bands and concerts in general, because that is a big portion of what happens at the amphitheater. Right. There are lots and lots of other things, and we'll get to that. So your job, because I don't think people fully understand how much there is to do for one band.
Yep. So anytime we book a show, first step is we've got to do cost evaluation. We've got to look and see how much the band's going to cost, how much the show's going to cost us, as there outside needs, different contractors to bring in, some of that. So we've got to weigh the cost. And then if it's going to be a ticketed show, we've got to look and see what's the return value. What can we get per ticket? And so once we do that, that's normally takes us a couple days to a week, depends on how big it can be. Then we move into negotiations on the contract. People laugh about saying some people want green M&Ms, and I have seen those. Only green M&Ms in the dressing room kind of thing. So we negotiate a lot of that sort of stuff. And just depends on who the artist is. I mean, I've had negotiation processes with offers take 2-3 months.
Sure.
They're just working on other things, especially nationally touring artists, because we're trying to find a time when they're going to be near Lexington, South Carolina.
Sure.
And make that happen. And then, we move into, after contracts are done, move into announcement, radio marketing, digital marketing. Facebook's a huge avenue. Facebook
Right.
and Instagram, a huge avenue for us there. So it's, and then you hadn't even touched the day of the show yet.
Right. Because that's a whole nother ballgame.
But
you have to get ready. You have to prepare in advance for it. So let's go back to booking the event, and then you get into that contractual thing. And again, even before that, it is funding. A lot of the concerts here at the amphitheater are free. So how does that work?
So we work off of sponsorship and vendor fees. Luckily, we've had some great community partners throughout, the Lexington area. And then we've also got, of course, our great vendors, and they have a fee that they pay us when they come to the amphitheater. So we work off of those two items for the most part. And then town council sees the amphitheater and a lot of what we're doing as a great bonus and a great add to town citizens and quality of life. So if there's shortfallings, the town has made it available to pick up the slack a little bit there.
Because let's go to, I want to talk about a couple of different things as far as, again, we're just staying on the band and concerts here. Tell me some of the national bands, the ones that travel nationally. Most of the local ones, I think I know. But tell me some of the national bands that have been.
So we've had Edwin McCain, Sister Hazel have been here.
He's from here, so I don't really think of Edwin as. I mean, I know he's not from Lexington, but he's a South Carolina.
Oh, we think of him as a local guy.
I know.
The first time he played here, he was. We had to call him to remind. His management had to call and remind him to come play the show because he was out plowing the field in Greenwood.
Yeah,
in a tractor. Literally, he was in a field. So he rolled in and played a show. Great show. That was awesome. But so we've had Sister Hazel, which of course just hit, I believe, their 30th year together, 25th or 30th year together. They're out of Gainesville, Florida. We've had a couple of national country artists. David Nail, Eddie Montgomery from Montgomery Gentry has come through. Parma Lee has come through. So there's really headline our nationals that have come through.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have some bands here locally that are repeats. I mean, you've got Greg Bickley with Tokyo Joe, and then he does Rocket Man and all those other. Then you've got Prettier Than Matt and several others that, sort of are regulars here.
100%. So we do our concert series, which is a lot of times where you'll see Tokyo Joe perform. Yeah. They do a fantastic job.
That's Thursday night.
It's on Thursday nights, spring and fall. We just wrapped up the spring, so we'll be getting ready to gear up and get the fall series announced here soon. But like I said, Greg, the Root Doctors, Under the Sun's another local band. We've really hit some great local talent here. I mean, this year Hijacked was another successful act for us. Prettier Than Matt, which is normally an acoustic duo, brought their full band version out.
Right.
Plus, kicked off the concert series, and that's a treat. Getting to hear them. And
Fringe Benefits band was a big one.
Fringe Benefits did a great job for us. I mean, I'm trying to remember who else was out there.
Yeah,
it's 8 weeks.
I know it is. It's just a lot. So let's talk about the day. Going back to your job now, the day of the concert. There's loading and unloading equipment depending on how big. I mean, I'm just going back to some of the bigger productions, not nationally, but let's just take the Rocket Man. Holy moly, at the equipment that has to come in for that.
For sure.
And you have to arrange all that. So it kind of works through that
we do.
The day.
Fortunately, a lot of our shows are repeats. Everyone loves coming back out to see them. So we've got schedules that are pretty set, and we're able to keep those. Which makes it easier for us.
Right.
But yeah, Rocket Man, so I'll come in. I normally get in on a show day sometime about 7:30. Depends on how quick the carpool line moves at my daughter's school. Enjoy that drop off.
I was say that is AM.
That is AM, yes. So we come in. I normally aim to be in about 7:30 AM. We'll start getting the venue signage out. We'll start getting things set up. Being outdoors, we can't leave our ATM outside all the time. We get the gates open so food trucks can arrive whenever they need to. Of course, the beer truck, that kind of stuff. And then we brought production, like for Rocket Man, they start coming in at about 8 o'clock in the morning because there's some set pieces that come in with that. He makes it a very elegant looking stage, as Elton had throughout his whole career.
Sure.
Does a great job mimicking that. So production will work 8:30. They'll get production loaded in until about noonish. And then you'll start seeing the band come in shortly in the afternoon.
Right. And some of those productions, I think that being one, there's a whole different lighting crew.
Correct. So you'll have an audio crew, a lighting crew. Rocket Man show, I mentioned, we'll have a set crew.
Yeah.
So you've got three to four different crews coming in with each group. Let's see, the timing of that, the lining that up.
Right. So now you mentioned, M&M's in the dressing room. Where do they get dressed? I mean,
so there's a
door theater.
Yep. So there's a little hidden room underneath the bathroom building. That is our green room. So we've got a dressing room and a private bathroom down there for them. That acts as a little storage area for us as well too. But we've got some couches and a table. So we hide it away, a little hidden gym.
Yeah.
A little space to get ready for their show.
Oh, good. Because there's been times I'm wondering, like, are they changing clothes in the back of that, what would be a cargo van thing? And sure, some of them do have air conditioning. But I'm like, that's got to be miserable. It's hot out here.
No, we do have a green room. My background is traveling production. So whenever I started this job, I made sure that the bands had a spot to be comfortable.
Yeah.
They had a spot that would be somewhere for them to relax, not inside of the back of a truck.
Right. Yeah, putting in makeup on would be interesting there. Let's talk about some of the other events that take place. We've covered the bands and the concerts, which is a lot of what goes on there, but there's movie night. Mm-hmm. Again, that's free.
Yep, we do. The movie nights are free. Once again, those kind of are fill dates on our calendar. We're just really looking for something fun to do, and if a good movie's out, starting with those, it takes a little while to work on getting the licensing requirements. I've got to purchase a license to show the movie. Some of that is negotiated onto, so we have to pay a licensing fee. And then we, of course, have the projector screen and all that we have to set up for those.
Now, is that something that the town of Lexington already has, or the amphitheater owns, however?
So we own the screen. I do rent the projector.
Sure.
There's several reasons why we do that, but mainly because of the projector.
Storage would be
Storage would be one. If the projector messes up, the guy we rent from has several.
Yes.
So that way, we have backups
Oh, yeah.
available for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So some other things.
So we also have our market.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday morning market just kicked off a couple weeks ago in May. So we'll run that market now through the end of September. We're going to take July 6th off, give our staff and myself the holiday weekend. But we're excited. We average over 40 different vendors, and this is everything from produce, meat, eggs, plants, and then you have your artists and crafts. So you have handmade jewelry, pottery. Yes, I mean, everything. My wife loves coming up shopping, bakeries, cookies, all kinds of stuff. It's an exciting Saturday. Come out and check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not going to be the first person to say this. You probably see this a lot and are probably told to your face, parking sucks.
But parking is a challenge. There is 1,000 public parking spots within 2 blocks of the amphitheater.
Right.
It's not right at the front door
of
the amphitheater. But really any concert venue I've ever gone to, unless it's built out in the middle of nowhere, doesn't have that available. So the town, we've done a great job since I've been here. We've opened 2 additional parking lots up on Church Street. There's plans for additional parking off of Butler Street with the new hotel project coming to Main Street. So that will also give us additional parking as well. We strive to make sure our sidewalks are clean, they're well lit. So hopefully it's a 2-block walk, but it's an easy 2-block walk.
Right. And I really am kidding with you because this is not Atlanta. We're not walking city block.
Correct.
We are walking the town of Lexington blocks. Please park, get over it, and walk on down.
As someone whose job is tied to economic development and economic, every time someone tells me there's a parking or a traffic problem, I'm like, okay, cool, I did my job.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're going to fix and deal with issues, but it means people are excited to be in Lexington.
Yes, absolutely. And there are people who are going to complain about everything, no matter what you do. And, those are the ones that like, look, get here earlier or don't complain. And again, we're not in Atlanta.
No. And it's all free parking too.
Right. Right. So let's talk about the vendor first at the market. So, they pay a fee to come in, so that helps.
Yeah.
Because the market, unless you're buying something, is free to the public.
Correct. Yep.
And it is a great market. I mean, it's just gotten bigger and bigger.
Yep. So when I took over the market, it was in the Lexington Square, which is adjacent to the county courthouse.
Right.
And I think we averaged under 10 vendors a week when I took it over. And that was 2017.
And I don't know that a lot of people knew about it.
I don't think a lot of people did either. Like I said, that was my first summer here.
Bless your heart.
I'd never run a market before in my life. So there was a lot of learning going on that week there. So we did that year. So we did that there. The next year we grew a little bit. And then in 2019, we made the move and rebranded it to become the market at Icehouse and moved it to the Icehouse Amphitheater. We felt we had a brand with the Icehouse Amphitheater and wanted to share it with the market. And that's where we saw the market really grow. And then council saw it grow as well, and we were able to add the pavilion. And during construction during 2020, opened at 21, which has really become a great spot, a great combo for the market.
Yeah, and it really is. And being right here downtown. I mean, if you want to go into some of the shops after you've finished, or go have lunch or whatever, go to one of the parks. You're right here. You're already here.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a great time. So the vendors that do the food and the beer and all that kind of stuff for the concerts and stuff, again, they pay a fee, and that helps out for us to be able to enjoy free concerts.
Yep.
But a lot of those are your restaurants and bars here on Main Street.
Correct. I made a real effort when we first started. I wanted to look at things differently than most venues did. An example of that is I didn't want somewhere where you felt like you had to save money to go to a concert and be able to afford to eat and drink. I jokingly say I'm not the $12 beer place. I worked really hard with our vendors when we first started writing our policies and stuff. I said, I want this to be somewhere where you can go get a $4 beer, $5 craft beer. And our vendors were receptive of that. I think we set everything up where, everybody has a great night and it doesn't hurt a family of 4 to come out and get dinner. Worked with our food trucks as well, bringing those in. And like I said, the main one is like Cake Cowboy, Old Mill Brew Pub, and Nick's Pizza are beer vendors. They're local. They're right here on Main Street.
Across the street.
They're quite literally across the street. And so, to have our local restaurants involved in it really is a great thing to me. Food vendors, we've got local food vendors come out. Sully Steamers, Diablo, Southwest Grill.
Yep.
I just blanked on their name. Salsaritas comes out too. Yep. They've been out for a while with us. So we love having our local Lexington restaurants out as well. And then of course we try to bring in some good food trucks as well.
I think, and I've said this 1,000 times, being one of Lexington's biggest cheerleaders, I have thoroughly enjoyed, one, getting to know the owners of the different places, restaurants and, boutiques, shops here on Main. But to watch them work together with you and with the town is amazing. I mean, I just stand there and go, there is nowhere else.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. I take great pride in our Main Street. When we started the amphitheater, there were 3 restaurants on the 100 block, and Main Street Cafe closed the month we opened. Now we're looking at 8, and we're about to open 9 and 10.
Right.
Actually, no, 9 just opened with Multivino.
Yeah.
The wine bar across the street just opened. So, and it's fantastic. And everybody likes to ask me, what's your favorite? I said, depends on what you want to eat, because there's options. There's lots of options on Main Street for food, drinks.
Right.
And then like you said, they work together. It's a lot of fun watching the boutiques and restaurants work with each other to create their own events on Main Street.
Absolutely.
It's nothing we do at all, but it's fun watching them do it.
Right. Yeah. And they just kind of like I said, they all kind of meld together, and it will be nothing for you to go to one place and the owner of this bar or restaurant is here eating or having a beer, and vice versa. It's amazing.
And there is competition because everybody's in business, but they all want each other to succeed. They all want each other to succeed. They understand that the rising tide floats all ships.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the most rewarding part of your job?
So I love during an event, knock on wood, if I don't have anything to do, it means we've planned it well and it's being executed well.
Has that ever happened?
A few times. Every now and then something always goes wrong. There's always an outlet tripped off or something.
Sure.
But I love sitting back in an event and you'll just listen to the last couple songs of the band. The crowd, of course, is into it, going wild, loving it. That to me is some of the most fun. And then the relationships I've built.
Yeah.
I've got not only business acquaintances now, but personal friends, whether it be with the vendors or the bands. We just, it's a business relationship, but we have friendships in that business relationship as well, which is just, to me, is more rewarding than anything else.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. That is fun. So anything coming up that maybe nobody knows about yet that you can say?
So unfortunately, a lot of our contracts keep us from telling it until certain states. We've got a great fall lineup coming up again. Really looking forward to that. Our August is really exciting. I never thought I'd be doing tribute bands like we do now. I mean, I've got a Taylor Swift tribute coming in August.
Right.
It's already sold.
Oh yeah, I think it went bad.
I think my wife and daughter are more excited about that one than anyone else in the world. But so we're really excited. It's been a lot of fun growing it, and we've got a couple more announcements up our sleeves coming up.
Any plans physically at the amphitheater?
Right now, there's no plans for additions. Any projects at the amphitheater. With the pavilion being added, just opening in 2021, that was a great addition to us. Of course, we're working off of Virginia Hilton Park. It's a huge project town just opened, which is fantastic.
Beautiful.
You haven't been there, need to really check that out. That was well worth the renovation.
I picked up sticks before it opened and pulled wheels.
All the community help in that. We got it going.
But it is. I didn't get a chance to play on the equipment, but I will.
Gotta go. Splash pad's open now.
Oh, I know.
Well,
absolutely, and we need to. What do you envision for the amphitheater over the next 5?
So the next 5 years, we'll celebrate our 10th year anniversary. Really excited coming up on that. I really want to see continued success and growth. I want to bring in different acts. It's always something we look at, bringing in something different. Of course, a lot of our staples continue to be great received in the community. People love them.
Right.
But we want to keep mixing it up a little bit. We want to keep growing that. I'd like to see our market maintain its growth, maintain its standard that we've got on it. we're really excited for that. And then, of course, our other festivals, Snowball Festival is one where the tree lighting happens at the amphitheater. I want to continue to see all this grow.
Yeah. Well, it is exciting and it's always busy, and God bless your heart because you are a busy man if you take care of all that happens over there. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I hope everybody, if you haven't been yet, come out and check out the Icehouse Amphitheater.
Right.
Our website, icehouseamphitheater.com. We're on Facebook and Instagram, Icehouse Amphitheater. And just a tidbit too, because a lot of people don't know, we're not named after the Icehouse beer. We were named after the original ice plant of Lexington, sat on that location where they would cut into 50-pound blocks of ice from your refrigerator back during the century.
That's a cool piece of trivia. I love it. I didn't even think about the beer, actually, but craft, what can I say?
I understand completely. I'm right there with you.
Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or know someone you'd like to see on the show, contact me at forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, allthingslexington.com.
For All Things Lexington has been brought to you in part by Lexington's Icehouse Amphitheater, the outdoor entertainment and event venue for fun, family, friends, and gatherings. Event schedule at icehouseamphitheater.com.
And by Angela Barrett at HomeMattersSC.com. Building on what matters to you.